Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, January 9th, 2017. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. Lawyer K. Bacchus Batiste is making it clear that a petition questioning the citizenship status of Member of Parliament for Central Leeward Sir Louis Straker is not a dead issue. Bacchus Batiste told SVG-TV News that the matter is still being looked into and at the moment they are seeing how best to move forward.
There are some issues that doesn't have to do with the law as such. We are very sure about our position in the law and what we're going to do as regards the Straker issue. It is not a dead issue. But there are some other collateral issues that have to be ironed out first before we proceed with it.
Under the laws of SVG, it is illegal for a person to run for political office with dual citizenship. In his response to the allegations, Sir Louis Straker has been calling on the opposition and their lawyers to bring the evidence forward so that they can address the matter in court. On the election petitions issue, in which the opposition New Democratic Party, the NDP, continues to challenge 2 of the seats in the December 2015 general elections, Bacchus Batiste says she is pleased that the Court of Appeal recently ruled that the ballots and other documents used in the elections cannot be destroyed until the matters are heard in the court. Bacchus Batiste says that the ruling made by Justice Louise Blenman on December 20th, 2016 shows that the court realizes the importance of the ballots to the petition case. The attorney said that her legal team is ready to face the court, but she is unsure if the matter would be heard this month in St. Lucia as anticipated.
I'm still disappointed that we're not quite sure whether the matter would be heard this month. It is on the list as case management, and there's some questions that the Court of Appeal sent to us last week, which we need to answer, basically to determine our readiness to proceed. We are ready to proceed. I do not know how the other side would respond to those questions yet, because we just got them to the end of last week. But the good news is that they have seen the wisdom and they are not contesting our application that they should not destroy the ballot boxes. The ballots. So it seems as though at least the court will order that those ballots be preserved until the outcome of this matter. So that is the good news. But I am not yet in a position to say that our matter will be heard in January or how later this year.
Bacchus Batiste said that she is also concerned that the fiat to bring criminal charges against Central Leeward returning officer Winston Games was struck out by the Director of Public Prosecution, the DPP, Colin Williams. She said another letter was written to the DPP in December of 2016 urging him to recall the decision.
Still the issue with the fiat, because I am disappointed to report that the DPP did not issue the fiat for us to bring criminal action against Mr. Gaines for when he counted ballots which he should have known, which he said, from what he said, shows that he knew they were invalid and should not have been counted. And as a result, I wrote a letter. I hope it will be the final letter, and I'm awaiting the response to the DPP on that one.
Offering individuals the opportunity to legally acquire a new citizenship without any disruptions to their lives, the Citizenship by Investment program, or economic citizenship, has gained popularity around the world. Caribbean nations such as Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Lucia already offer economic citizenship, with their governments deeming the program as very beneficial. But this country's Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, continues to denounce the program, expressing that he has no intent in offering citizenship by investment or selling Vincentian passports. In an interview with HTS News Force in St. Lucia recently, Prime Minister Gonsalves stated that other Eastern Caribbean leaders are free to adopt such programs, but St. Vincent and the Grenadines will not. This comes as opposition parties in St. Lucia and Dominica questioned how their governments are running the program.
The land is that of citizen, higher than Prime Minister, higher than Governor General. It is not a commodity for sale. The passport is the outward sign of the inward grace of citizenship, and that too is not for sale. When people tell me you can make a lot of money from it, there are lots of things you can make money from which you would not necessarily get engaged in. But as I say, I am not criticizing any of my brothers in the other countries who want to go there. That is their right. We agree to disagree on this one.
When asked about the rising concerns surrounding persons who are holders of passports obtained through economic citizenship having easy access to countries including SVG, Prime Minister Gonsalves pointed out that he has arrangements in place to take care of that issue. Prime Minister Gonsalves will leave here tomorrow at the head of a 5-member delegation to attend the 7th session of the Assembly of the International Renewable Energy Agency, or IRENA, in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates, from January 14th to the 15th. 2017. The delegation includes his wife Eloise, the head of the energy unit Ellsworth Dakin, Ken Morris, a senior official in the Ministry of Finance, and Isis Gonsalves, special advisor at the SVG UN mission in New York. The assembly will bring together international policymakers at the highest level to discuss critical matters related to renewable energy in terms of capacity, investments, and global cooperation. Prime Minister and his delegation will return to the state on January 17th. 2016 was a successful one for the Ministry of Education, and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Maureen Williams, is hoping for more success this year. Speaking to SVG-TV News earlier today, Williams noted that 2016 has been a good one despite the many challenges, such as personnel changes and the weather conditions which kept students out of the classroom for long periods. She added that cooperation among stakeholders was another challenge and called on parents and guardians to be more involved with their children's education.
We also had the challenge of, and this is ongoing, total cooperation from all stakeholders. And I want to take this opportunity to challenge parents that they have a role to play in the education of their students, and to encourage them to partner with the schools in a more collaborative approach. Matters that can be dealt with can be discussed between head teachers and parents. Let's go that way. We are a Ministry of National Reconciliation, and we want to encourage persons to seek the way of reconciliation.
Williams also challenged teachers to continue working toward the educational development of the nation's children.
Well, we want to encourage our teachers to continue to work hard. There are many teachers who work hard. We must admit that there are one or two who could perform better, who could be more conscientious in what they offer. But by and large, I think we have some teachers that work very hard. We want to encourage them to continue to retool, continue to have their skills sharpened, so that they can help the students, because teachers really are guides. We want them to be able to guide the students into their own research, into their own investigation, for them to improve their performances.
Williams said she was heartened by the exceptional performances by some students for 2016 and challenged all to build upon such a good record.
We look forward to our students doing well in their upcoming examinations. Last year we had our grade 6 students performing very well in the CPEA, and we look forward to that happening again this year. We look forward to improved grades in our CSEC passes, especially in the area of mathematics. We are encouraging parents to work with teachers and for students to really settle down and study hard. I think that's one area we want to work on in particular for 2017.
The Education PS said along with training and refresher courses for teachers, the ministry will be focusing on the early learning program to facilitate a high rate of literacy and numeracy among the nation's students.
One of the areas of focus this year is the Early Learners Program, which is a program in participation with the other OECS countries, and that is ensuring that our base is built up, that students are able to read at their grade levels, that in the early years years of primary school, there's a high rate of literacy and numeracy. We believe if that is done, then we can see students at a higher level, at the higher levels, being able to master the subject areas. So that is one of our focus.
The Traffic Department of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has issued a warning to motorists whose vehicle registration plates are not in compliance with the law that they have 24 hours to have them corrected. This commences from today, January 9th, 2017. Sergeant Henry Providence of the Traffic Department, speaking on behalf of the Traffic Department, said they have observed where some motorists are putting number plates on dashboards. Others are writing the numbers on papers as well as using italics on their number plates, and those issues have to be addressed. Sergeant Providence said to this end, the public has 24 hours to have such plates corrected. Outlining what the law stipulates in Chapter 355 of Volume 8 of the Laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Sergeant Providence stated that Section 3 states, A, the background of the plate shall be black and the letters and figures shall be white, or front plate. The background of the plate shall be white, luminous, and the letters and figures be black, and rear plate. The background of the plate shall be yellow, luminous, and the letters and figures shall be black. He added Section 4 further states, all letters and figures must be 3.5 inches high. Every part of every letter and figure must be 5/8 of an inch broad, and the total width of the space taken by every letter or figure, except in the case of Figure 1, must be 2.5 inches. According to the police, any person who contravenes or fails to comply with any of the provisions of these regulations is guilty of an offense and liable to a fine of not less than $250 and not more than $2,000 and to imprisonment for 21 days. Participating 9 Mornings communities were last Saturday, January 7th, rewarded for their involvement in the festival as the SVG 9 Mornings Committee held its 2016 9 Mornings prize-giving ceremony. The festival, which is unique to SVG, is held each year from December 16th to 24th and includes the lighting of community squares, gardens, and private homes, as well as concerts where community members are given the opportunity to partake in numerous activities. We hear more about Saturday's award ceremony in this report by Nikita Tony.
The $5,000 in prize monies were handed out to winners of the National 9 Mornings Festival last Saturday, January 7th, as the National 9 Mornings Committee hosted its prize-giving ceremony at the Peace Memorial Hall. Deeming the year's festivities as successful, Chairman of the National 9 Mornings Committee, Michael Peters, gave light to how the committee was able to present winnings at such an early time.
So at the start of the year, we calculate all the money for the prizes and we put that away and we ain't touching that. So that's why we're able this morning to have this prize-giving ceremony so soon. We could reward and thank people for the efforts they put in, because we don't want anybody to be owed or have people waiting so long.
Outlining that the festival was faced with numerous challenges, including the aftermath of the passage of 2 trough systems, Peters thanked all participating communities, community members and visitors alike, for their involvement in making the festival even greater.
We were able to double the numbers. Last year we only had 23. This year we were up to 46, although a couple dropped out at the last minute because, again, of the problems with the weather. I got goosebumps when I saw the amount of visitors, especially returning nationals. If they came back home in such large numbers and all the problems with Liat, could imagine what happens after Valentine's Day this year.
Highlighting that the festival has been going and growing strong, Minister of Culture Cecil Sesmaki outlined that efforts are being put in place to make SVG 9 Mornings the top Christmas festival in the world.
With the coming into being this year of new communities, new individuals, to ensure that there is no place in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that you can drive or walk that you are not confronted with lights and community activities. I think as we go forward, we'll see even more individuals, even more groups involved in this very special activity.
Vinlex Community Officer Tamara Job-Sprott expressed her company's elation in being a major sponsor of the festival.
We recognize the importance of culture, we recognize the importance of the preservation of culture and the preservation of this unique Vincentian tradition. But just to say, to continue to do the work, sometimes the recognition isn't what you want it to be, but the recognition of the festival at the international level, I think, is what makes it worth the while. So
the National Community Lighting winner for the 4th year went to Point Village, with Best Lit Garden going to the Rosa Recreational Park, which also took the Best Nativity Scene, while Olivia De Silva's residence in Canyon took the Best Lit Private House Award. Best Community on Parade went to Green Hill, while Rosebank copped the prize for the Best Community Song. Stubbs, for the 6th consecutive year, took the Best 9 Morning Community Award, with Richland Park taking the Best Christmas Community title. The 2016 Most Popular Local Christmas Song was awarded to Rodney Luther McIntosh's rendition of Rum Santa. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
Continuing on its quest to improve this country's health sector as well as that of the regions, the World Pediatric Project is hosting its first mission here for 2017. According to WPP Director for the Eastern Caribbean, Jacqueline Brown King, this general surgery mission, which comprises a team of 5 specialists, arrive in the country on Saturday, January 7th, who will be in the state until January 14th.
General surgery, it takes into account those children with various kinds of abdominal and other type surgeries that needs our attention. Some of them are new cases, would be from new cases, others would be follow-up cases that we're looking at. On both on list, we have about 46 children to be seen. We have children coming from Antigua, St. Kitts, Grenada, St. Lucia, Barbados. Those are the ones we have. And we also have about 12 surgical interventions.
The WPP director said she anticipates a productive week, noting that more missions are scheduled to be hosted throughout the year.
We still have next month, we don't have any, but March is going to be pretty heavy. We'll have ophthalmology, plastic surgery, cardiology, and of course physical therapy. We have 2 surgical and 2 non-surgical, plus we go right down until November, throughout the year. It's ongoing, so the referrals are coming from the islands, from St. Vincent. We're sending them forward, they ask us questions, getting labs, getting other intervention, evaluations, sending it back. So our communication is ongoing, and of course Dr. Data helps to guide all of what is happening, so that when the team comes, we don't have a fact-finding mission, but that we have smooth sailing and everything else is in place.
Meantime, Chief of Pediatrics at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, Dr. Bharati Datta, says this week will be a hectic one for the team, as the main objective will be to ensure that every child receives the care and support needed.
The aim is to see those cases in the clinic even before everybody else, so that we can make our decisions and let them go. Sometimes they have their passages, they cannot stay here, because you have to remember every day they spend here, it's costing them. So in being good hosts to the regional families, that is something that we try to do. That means even in our surgical intervention, the list that is drawn up at the end of the day, the regional families might be chosen to have their surgeries few. It's early. It serves 2 purposes. 1, it gets them better and out earlier, and 2 is it gives us a longer time for follow-up if the surgery is extensive and intricate. So that is for the region. For the rest of the list on Sunday, I will be there looking at these babies with Dr. Lukesh and his team.
A team of technicians is also in the state to install equipment donated to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital valued at $1.2 million. Minister of Agriculture and Area Representative for South Central Windward, Saboto Caesar, says efforts will be made to integrate a community-driven approach at the various health centers in his constituency so as to achieve the goal of good health and well-being, along with the inclusion of and reintroduction on various sporting activities targeting the youth.
I am happy to receive a recommendation from Anthony Boy, who is here with us. He has been in contact with several agencies internationally, and since he made the contact at the constituency level, I spoke to several persons from the Middle East who are willing to work with Mr. Anthony Boy and the organization committee of the Millennium Sustainable Development Community Project to bring the sport of tennis, to revive the sport of tennis in South Central Windward. We have already started to look at resurfacing Sans Souci and also to utilize the recently resurfaced hard court at Lauders.
Caesar said the youth will be better placed to learn the sport of tennis and other skills which will aid in more than promoting good health.
About 15 years ago, a program took place in the constituency where several persons were tooled in this sport, and these were held at Sans Souci, at the hard court, at the North Union hard court, at the hard court also at the New Grounds Primary School and at Lauders. And we want to ensure that in going forward, we give the young people of South Central Windward an equal opportunity with any other young person in this world to play any sport of their choice, and not only to engage in sporting activities, but also to use music and other talents to create livelihoods.
Another Vincentian on Sunday, January 8, 2017, celebrated a milestone. Elizabeth Morgan, affectionately known as Mommy Morgan of Sandy Bay, celebrated her 100th birthday with a special prayer service at her home on Sunday evening, attended by family and friends. Mommy Morgan's mother, Mary McLeod, passed away 14 years ago at 106 years old.